Alrighty here. The 2025 NASCAR season will officially be underway Saturday night when the green flag falls for heat race number one out at the Bowman Gray Stadium for the Clash, if you will. And I believe it is time and it is necessary to give out the final video regarding paint schemes of 2025. We have done a few so far, and a lot of people seem interested, so we're going to carry on and put them all into one and also update some more into the edits, if you will. And here we go. We got over 100, and we're just going through them. You got a good Jesse Love here. This is the same as last year, but it's a banger. So why change it? Because it's really good. Noah Gregson, him and front row as a whole have gotten real creative this offseason when it comes to paint scheme designs because they got a lot. I really like this Parker Retzloff one, Kyle Larson with the banger HendrickMotorsports.com one. He's also going to run the Indianapolis 500 again with the same paint scheme. I don't know from the IndyCar side what the paint scheme will look like, but NASCAR is going to look the same as it did this past year. Brad Keselowski, Justin Haley, I like this one. Justin Allgaier with Jarrett. It's always been a sponsor for him in most of his career. Sammy Smith, I believe this right here is going to get Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Kelly Earnhardt Miller a lot of money in the long run, if you will, because that infamous 8 logo, that trademark that got back to Earnhardt this past fall or summer, I guess you can say, because of the trademark deadline, and his stepmom did not renew it, and she couldn't keep it, but she did keep some other logos and this and that. She kept the infamous one, which Steve Park drove. But Dale Earnhardt Jr. was able to get his hands on the 8 trademark, and he's not able to use it on any of the cars he owns. And that right there is going to sell a lot of merchandise and make a lot of money in the long run. So there you go there. Ryan Blaney, my 2025 NASCAR Cup Series champion prediction, I guess you can say. I believe he can win it all this year for the second time in his career. He last won it in 23, 24. I would say a lap shy of winning it back to back. He's a really good driver. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves. He heats up when it's necessary, and sometimes he doesn't show up at all, but he does when it matters, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. And he's going to be in line for another championship, I believe. Chase Briscoe, Bass Pro Shops. That right there is going to take time getting used to. We have seen Martin Truex Jr. driving a 19 car for many years. You had Carl Edwards, and then he had Daniel Suarez. He got the boot, and then we saw Truex come into the picture, and he's been there for a while. And it's going to be hard to get out of everyone's heads, including mine. I'm a Chase Briscoe fan. But that Martin Truex Jr. is not in that 19, even though it looks the same, but it is Chase Briscoe. So got to tip the cap to him. I believe he earned this right after all, after a successful 2024 season in Stewart-Haas equipment, which isn't the best. And he definitely earned it. And that's why he's at Joe Gibbs Racing. And he's going to have a good probably his second half of his career here. And I believe it's going to go really well. Todd Gilliland, the star boy, if you will, at front row. He's driving the 34. The big number at the team. I believe he will win a race in 2025. Zane Smith, I like this Bone paint scheme. Cole Custer, Haas. Cole Custer has a very interesting year coming up. I believe a lot of people are going to criticize him early on because of a bad performance here and there, because I believe that will happen ultimately, because this team right here is not a Tier 1 organization team that people may expect to be, just because of the fact that they were once Stewart-Haas Racing. Now they're the Haas factory team owned by Gene Haas, who was still the Stewart-Haas Racing co-owner. I guess you could say majority owner. But I wouldn't expect nothing big early on, and people are going to criticize Custer because of his dad having ties to the team, this and that, calling it nepotism. No. This team is going to struggle early on. Cole Custer is a hell of a driver. He's a proven winner. He won at Kentucky his rookie year, and he's also won an Xfinity Series championship and numerous Xfinity race wins. So he's a proven winner. Just give him some time, be patient, and he is going to go to victory lane before you know it. Mark my words. Already here, Ryan Preece, a big step in the right direction in his career. Early on, things didn't look so bright, and then he took a big gamble on himself at Joe Gibbs Racing in an Xfinity Series, paying for himself to get a ride. And he won, got a gig with JTG, had got the boot, went from ride to ride for a year, and ended up back in the Cup Series, and it's looking good now. The best ride of his career, probably the best ride he'll ever get from now on. So he has to do good. I believe he will. Got Red Bull back in NASCAR sponsoring Connor Zillage, and we'll see in a minute Shane Van Gisbergen. But Connor Zillage, though, he's a very talented driver. I believe him racing at COTA this year is going to put a lot of pressure on either Ross Chastain or Daniel Suarez. But if I had to assume Daniel Suarez, because Suarez, you take away the Atlanta win last year, he wasn't that impressive.